All right, so we're here with Conceisons, Bobby and Chrissy. Bobby works at the middle school as a counselor, and Chrissy works at BHS as a counselor. And just checking in, basically to see how folks are doing in this new normal that we've all jumped into, really without any warning. So, how has the routine been for the two of you so far?
So far, so good. I mean, we have two really kind of young kids, 2 and 4. So we've been really busy with them, doing our best kind of day to day to keep them busy, almost hour by hour. Doing our best to get outside a lot. I think we've had some nicer weather, so that's been good. Those inside days have been a little tougher, but we're doing our best to kind of keep them busy and keep us busy as well.
Yeah, the kids definitely, at least our kids, I think, thrive on some sort of structure. So they're getting in a new routine here at home where there's an expectation of craft time and cooking with mom time and movie dates, which is a new thing for us. But it's been fun and it's been interesting, and it's definitely been an adjustment from the normal.
Yeah, and I think now recently we've really started to get into like kind of thinking about how we're going to help our students.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas for the first week and a half, I feel like we've been focused on us and our own kids and our own routine. And now thinking a little bit more about how we can really reach out and do our best to assist teachers and students in kind of getting back into the swing of getting some academics and things like that done.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that, but I was going to say it's really interesting to have your perspective, because people forget sometimes, it's not just teachers at home waiting to do their jobs that they usually do inside the physical school, but behind the walls of that house, there's a whole family situation, and it's not like you can just jump in and be available all day. So I'm sure that juggling act is difficult.
And this past week, when we've really started picking up on starting to co-plan for getting some resources out to kids and having some Google Hangouts with other teachers and staff meetings online, it's been a new juggling act for us of, figuring out how to give each other that time, but also having an adjustment to letting people inside our house a little bit, because the kids and the dogs come running through the background, and it's definitely a new atmosphere for, I think, everyone who's been involved in it.
Yeah, and I was talking to Sean Musselman earlier in the week, and he was talking. He has a 2 and a 4-year-old at home. Also, I think those are the ages.
Yeah.
And just how do you plan with 2 and 4-year-olds around? Like, you get them on a schedule as much as you can, but there are going to be interruptions, and I'm sure people understand, because that's what we're all dealing with right now.
Yeah.
But I really struggle in my mind thinking back to those days, how I could have given them the attention, find a little bit time for myself. Also, the work that you're trying to do to stay connected with kids, because I know both of your jobs, the priority is staying connected with kids, especially some kids that need, to be connected more than others. And I know it's a hard time for you right now, worrying about, kids in different situations, and they don't have the access to you that they would normally have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is. It's definitely a challenge. And today I was actually on a couple of like remote webinars through the Massachusetts Partnership for Youth, and they were each a couple of hours. So there was a couple of hours where I was kind of busy. Chrissy was busy at the same time, so we kind of threw a movie on for the kids, which probably isn't the best parenting strategy. But I think sometimes you have to do what you have to do to kind of get through and make sure that we're able to do our work along with taking care of their needs too.
And it is hard.
I think anybody that hasn't put on a movie for their kids, or they say they haven't, they're lying. But go ahead, Chrissy.
I was just going to say it's definitely hard going from, I think, the role that we both play in the school system of having that daily connection with kids and not being able to see them. I mean, I miss being able to check in with our students and see what's going on in their lives. And we've tried to stay in touch as much as we can over email. And hopefully going to broaden that out more to being able to do some Google Hangouts with the high school kids. But, I miss the routine, and I miss seeing the kids and having a pulse on kind of what's going on within our school system. So
I was actually on a Google Hangout today with one of the 7th grade teams. I work with all the 7th grade students, and there were probably like, 30 kids on there or something. And it seemed like the kids were doing okay. I mean, it was a little bit chaotic because everyone was talking at once, but it was just good to see their faces and good to hear like some of the things that they've been doing. But again, it was a little crazy, but it was good. Again, it was good to hear kind of some of the things, and to hear that most of them seem to be doing okay, even though it's kind of a crazy time right now.
Yeah, I feel fortunate we have these tools to connect. Thank God we have the technology we do and ways to reach out to the kids. It's not the same as being in the same physical space, but it's at least some type of bridge so we're not totally disconnected.
Yep.
How have you been staying in touch with, family, friends through this last week or so?
I think one of the interesting things that I feel like some of the friends that I've almost kind of reconnected with because of this, whether that's because we were on the house party app the other night with a couple of my friends from college, and we said, why haven't we been doing this all along? And we just did it for the first time the other night, and now we've like checked in with each other almost every day now because it's so easy to just put it on for a couple minutes and say hi, and so we've been doing a lot of that, and with our families too, FaceTime and that kind of stuff. And our kids don't have too many friends now because they're little, but we're trying to keep them. We're saying hi to people in the neighborhood, and that's another thing that I feel like a lot of people are almost not friendlier, but they're more willing to say hi and kind of almost want that interaction because everybody's kind of missing it, I think.
Yeah, we've been going on lots of neighborhood walks.
Yeah.
So we've gotten to know all of our neighbors, somewhat better because everyone just wants some kind of social interaction. And I think it's been hard on our families. Bob and I both come from very close families. We're used to seeing each other very frequently and having family dinners. So I think it's been hard on our parents to have kind of the distance that has been so far.
Yeah, my mom's in her 70s, and I think the first weekend going into this, she was going to come up that weekend. She lives about 90 minutes away. She was going to drive up, and then I talked to my brother who lives in Pennsylvania, and I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I have some stepsons that work in the grocery store, and I'm like, I just don't think it's a good thing. So we've been FaceTiming with her, but I get your point. Like some of those connections, she's really more isolated than she's ever been. I'm sure your parents are feeling the same way with no time with the grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah. And my sister, who is a senior in high school now, is kind of really feeling this because obviously it's her senior year. And so not being able to physically be there to help her kind of adjust to what's happening. And I know that she, when she heard the news of May 4th the other day, she was even a little bit more upset. But I think she's kind of, it's a little bit hard because we're all distant from her too, but still trying to connect as much as we can through the platforms that we have has been helpful.
Yeah, I have a son who's a senior in college, not quite the same, but still a lot of the things that are slipping away that they're not going to experience. And for all the seniors, whether they're high school or college seniors, it's like a unique experience. Nobody's been through anything like this before.
Yeah. And I think even at the middle school, I think about the 8th graders who it's their last year at the middle school and they have all their kind of events coming up, and hopefully we're back for them. But it is kind of a tough time to think about the fact that some of those things might not happen or might happen in a different way. Oh, there you are.